They say if you listen closely on quiet nights in the village of Alade, you can still hear the echo of what happened. The echo of truth breaking through fear. The echo of a son who chose honesty over his family's honor. But let me take you back. Back to when secrets were heavier than stones. Back to when respect mattered more than truth. Back to when one family's silence slowly poisoned an entire village. The elders will tell you the spirit was banished. They will swear by the ancestors that the sacrifice worked. They will say the old troubles ended 20 years ago. But spirits do not disappear just because humans agree they should. And this is the story of what really happened. The village of Alade was old. So old that even the baobab tree in the center square had forgotten how many harvest seasons it had witnessed. The paths were red earth, beaten smooth by generations of bare feet. Smoke from evening fires rose, like prayers into the sky. And every child knew the rules. Respect your elders, honor the ancestors, never question what the village agrees is true. In this village lived a family everyone respected. Chief Adeyemi and his wife Folashade. Their compound was always clean. Their doors were always open. When disputes arose, people came to Chief Adeyemi. When sickness came, people went to Mama Folashade for herbs and wisdom. They were the kind of people who made other families say, "Ah, if only we could be like them." But respect, my brother, my sister, sometimes respect becomes a prison. Chief Adeyemi and Folashade had only one child. A son. His name was Dare. Dare was not like other children. Where other boys ran and shouted and wrestled in the dust, Dare watched. He listened. His eyes carried weight, like someone who had seen things children should not see. When he walked through the village, he moved quietly, his footsteps barely disturbing the red earth. People whispered about him. "That boy is too serious. Too quiet. Like he is carrying stones in his heart." They did not know how right they were. Every night, Dare would lie on his mat and listen. Listen to the sounds beneath the floor. Listen to his parents' whispered arguments after they thought he was sleeping. Listen to the scratching, the breathing, the voice that was not human calling his name in the darkness. "Dare! Dare! Your silence feeds me." And in the back room, the room with the locked door, the room his parents never let anyone enter, something waited. Something that should not have been there. Something the village believed was gone. 20 years earlier, trouble had come to Alade like a slow sickness. First, the yam harvest failed. Not in one farm, but in every farm. The tubers came out rotten, black inside, smelling of death. Then the children began falling sick with fevers that made them speak in voices that were not their own. Then accidents. A roof collapsed. A well dried up overnight. A woman gave birth to a child who never took its first breath. The village gathered under the baobab tree. Fear hung in the air like smoke. Chief Ogunlade, Dare's grandfather, was the village head then. He stood before the people, his staff shaking in his hand. "A wandering spirit has come," he said. "One without home, without rest, without mercy. It feeds on our peace." The crowd murmured. "What must we do?" The elders consulted. Diviners were called. Chickens were sacrificed. Cowries were thrown. And the answer came back the same, a great sacrifice. A public oath. A collective banishment. On the night of the new moon, the entire village gathered. Young, old, nursing mothers, toothless grandmothers, everyone. They circled the baobab tree. The drums beat like heartbeats of the earth itself. 7 white roosters. 7 clay pots. 7 palm fronds. The chief priest called the spirit by name. "Ajasoro! Spirit without home! We do not want you here! We cast you out! We bind you with our voices! We banish you with our unity!" The village chanted as one. "Go! Go! Go!" The fires flared. The wind howled. And for a moment, The air felt lighter. The priest smiled. "It is done!" The village celebrated. Drums played. People danced. Children laughed. Finally peace. But spirits are not so easily dismissed. What the villagers did not know, what the priest did not say, was that something had gone wrong. The sacrifice was incomplete. The ritual had a crack. A hesitation. A moment of doubt that the spirit felt like a door left unlocked. The spirit was wounded, yes. Weakened, yes. But not gone. And that same night, while the village slept with full stomachs and light hearts, something crawled to Chief Adeyemi's compound. Chief Adeyemi was awake. He couldn't sleep. Something felt unfinished, like a sentence cut in half. He stepped outside to clear his head. The moon was thin, barely a scratch of light in the sky. And there, collapsed near his doorway, was something. Not quite human. Not quite shadow. Something in between. It breathed in gasps. Its form flickered like a dying flame. "Please!" The voice was like dry leaves scraping stone. "I am wounded. I am dying." Adeyemi's heart pounded. He should have called the elders. He should have raised the alarm. But fear is a strange thing. Sometimes it makes you run. Sometimes it makes you freeze. And sometimes it makes you hide. "If they find it here," Adeyemi whispered to himself, "they will say I harbored it. They will say I am cursed. My family will be shamed." Folashade appeared beside him, her wrapper pulled tight. "What is that?" "The spirit," Adeyemi whispered. "The one we banished." Her eyes widened. "We must tell the village." "And say what?" Adeyemi's voice was sharp with panic. "That it came to our home? That we are the reason it's still here? They will chase us out. Our family will be finished." Folashade looked at the wounded thing trembling on their doorstep. Fear won. Together, they dragged it inside. They placed it in the back room, the storage room no one used. They locked the door. They told themselves it would die soon. They told themselves it was temporary. They told themselves many lies that night. But the spirit did not die. Instead, it fed. Not on food. Not on blood. On secrecy. On shame. On the fear that kept the door locked and the truth buried. Years passed. The village believed the spirit was gone. Crops grew again. Children laughed again. Life returned to normal. But in Chief Adeyemi's house, normal was a mask. The spirit grew stronger. Colder. It whispered through the walls. It fed on their silence. And when their son Dare was born, it watched him with eyes like burnt coal. "One day," it hissed, "you will tell them. One day, you will set me free. Or I will consume you all." Dare grew up in a house full of shadows. He was 5 when he first heard the scratching beneath the floor. He ran to his mother. "Mama, there is something under the house." Folashade's face went tight. "It is rats, my son. Only rats." "But rats do not call your name." He was 8 when he saw his father standing at the locked door, whispering, "Please, just a little longer. Please stay quiet. Baba, who are you talking to?" His father spun around, eyes wide. "No one. Go to bed, Dare. Now!" He was 12 when the spirit spoke directly to him. The voice came through the cracks in the wall, smooth and cold like river stones. "Dare, you know I am here. You feel me. Your parents think they control me, but they are wrong. Every day they hide me, I grow stronger. Every lie they tell, I feed. One day, this village will burn, and it will be because of silence." Dare covered his ears, but the voice continued. "You can stop it. Speak the truth, or watch everyone you love suffer." He told his parents. He begged them. "We must tell the village. The spirit is getting stronger." His father grabbed his shoulders. "Dare, listen to me. If the village finds out, we are finished. They will call us cursed. They will drive us out. You, me, your mother, we will have nothing. Do you understand? Nothing. But Baba, people are getting sick again. The crops are. Enough. His father's voice cracked like thunder. You will say nothing. Nothing. Do you hear me? His mother held his face in her hands, tears streaming. Dear, my son, please. We are trying to protect you. We are trying to protect this family. But Dare saw the truth. They were not protecting anyone. They were protecting their reputation, their honor, their place in the village. And the spirit laughed in the darkness. Years passed. Dare became a young man. Respected. Helpful. People said, that boy will be a great leader one day, just like his father. But inside, Dare was breaking. He watched the village suffer. Small things at first. A child with nightmares. A woman who couldn't stop crying. A man who saw shadows that weren't there. Then bigger things. Fires that started for no reason. An elder who went mad overnight. The spirit was no longer contained. It was leaking into the village like poison into a well. Dare knew what he had to do. But knowing and doing are two different things. It was the night of the harvest festival. The entire village gathered under the baobab tree. Drums echoed. Firelight danced on faces. Children ran between the legs of dancing adults. Laughter filled the air. But beneath the joy, there was unease. Too many unexplained troubles. Too many whispers of bad luck returning. Chief Ogunlade's son, now the village head, stood to speak. We must give thanks that the old troubles have not returned. The spirit remains banished. We remain protected. The crowd murmured agreement. And then Dare stood. The drums stopped. Conversations faded. Eyes turned. Elders, mothers, fathers. Dare's voice was steady, but his hands trembled. I must speak. His father's face went pale. His mother grabbed his arm. Dare, sit down. But Dare pulled away gently. Forgive me, Mama. But I cannot be silent anymore. The village head frowned. Speak then, son of Adeyemi. What troubles you? Dare took a breath. The spirit was never banished. Silence. Not the peaceful kind. The kind that comes before a storm. What are you saying? An elder demanded. 20 years ago, the sacrifice failed. The spirit was wounded, but not destroyed. It survived. Murmurs spread like wildfire. Impossible. The priest said, how would he know? Dare's voice grew stronger. I know because it has been living in my father's house. In the back room. Hidden. Fed by secrecy. Growing stronger every year. The crowd erupted. Shouts. Accusations. Denials. Chief Adeyemi stood, his face a mask of shame and fury. Dare! What have you done? Folashade wept openly. My son, you have destroyed us. But Dare did not stop. The suffering in this village, the sickness, the fear, it is because the spirit feeds on lies. On hidden truth. The sacrifice failed because we were afraid. And my parents hid the spirit because they were afraid. And I stayed silent because I was afraid. But fear only makes it stronger. An old woman's voice cut through the chaos. If this is true, show us. Dare nodded. Come! All of you. Come and see. The village followed like a river of fire and torches. They walked to Chief Adeyemi's compound. The crowd circled the house. Dare's father tried to block the door, but the village head pushed him aside. Open the room, he commanded. Dare took the key from his mother's trembling hand. He unlocked the door. The smell hit first. Cold. Old. Like a grave opened. Then the presence. The air grew heavy. Torches flickered. And there, in the corner, Crouched and grinning was the spirit. It was larger than it had been. Its form more solid. Its eyes burned like embers. "Finally!" it hissed. "Finally, the truth!" The village screamed. Some ran. Some fell to their knees. But Dare stood firm. "You fed on our silence," he said to the spirit. "But silence ends now." The spirit laughed. "You think words can destroy me? I am strong. Stronger than I have ever been." The village elder stepped forward, his voice shaking but determined. "We were wrong. The first sacrifice was done in fear, not truth. That is why it failed." Another elder joined. "We pretended it worked because we did not want to admit failure." A woman spoke. "And we punished anyone who questioned, who doubted, who spoke uncomfortable truth." One by one, voices rose. "We chose comfort over honesty. We chose reputation over reality. We fed the spirit with our denial." The spirit's form began to flicker. "No, no, you are still afraid." Dare's father fell to his knees. "I was afraid. I hid the truth because I was ashamed. I am sorry. I am so sorry." Folashade joined him, weeping. "Forgive us. Forgive us." The village priest, now old and humbled, stepped forward. "We will perform the ritual again, but this time with truth, with admission. Not to banish, but to release." The village circled the spirit. They did not chant in anger. They chanted in sorrow. In acknowledgement. "We see you. We failed you. We release you." The spirit's form began to dissolve. Not with violence, but with something like relief. "Finally!" Its voice faded. "Finally, someone spoke the truth." And with the dawn, it was gone. The village did not celebrate the night. They mourned. They mourned the years lost to fear. The pain caused by silence. The trust broken by lies. Chief Adeyemi and Folashade were not punished, but they were humbled. They stood before the village and confessed everything. Their shame, their fear, their choices. And the village, though hurt, chose understanding over vengeance. Dare did not leave. Many thought he would. Many thought he should, after exposing his own family. But he stayed. He helped his parents rebuild trust, one conversation at a time. He challenged the elders when they tried to bury uncomfortable truths. He taught the children to ask questions, to speak honestly, to choose truth over comfort. Years later, people would say, "Dare saved us." But Dare would shake his head. "The truth saved us. I only chose to speak it." The village of Alade changed. Not perfectly. Not easily. But they learned that darkness grows in silence. That spirits feed on secrets. That courage is not the absence of fear, but speaking truth despite it. And when children asked about the spirit, the elders no longer said, "It was banished and never returned." They said, "It was hidden, and hiding the truth nearly destroyed us." So remember this story. Remember it when you are tempted to hide uncomfortable truths. Remember it when silence feels safer than honesty. Remember it when protecting reputation matters more than protecting people. The spirit was dangerous because the truth was hidden. Fear feeds darkness. But when one voice speaks honestly, even ancient curses lose their power. May you have the courage of Dare, the humility of Adeyemi, and the wisdom to know that the most dangerous spirits are the ones we pretend are not there. Thank you for listening. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay truthful, stay brave, and remember, secrets are heavier than stones, but truth will always set you free.